You fought at a game, I think, when you had Great Lakes. Did you?
I fought?
Yeah.
I ain't fight nobody, man.
When you were playing, did you fight somebody?
Nah, I ain't fight nobody, man. It was Grace, man.
Grace?
They jumped me, man. They jumped me, man. They got me out of there, man. Nah, man. All jokes to the side, man. That's what I mean by like the growth.
Yeah.
Like it took me back to when I was living in Baltimore when that situation that happened. And I was not playing, I was the coach. I was the assistant coach. So one of the kids that was playing for Grace, his brother was in the stands. And his brother called Trent Temple. I don't know if you remember Trent.
I know Trent.
You know, and Trent is my daughter godfather. Mm-hmm. And his mother and his father, his whole family, Trent family is like my second family here. And the little boy called Trent mom a B. Come on, man. Trent mom like 50. Mm-hmm. No offense. You know what I mean? What we doing? You gotta have respect. So I came over there because my fiance told me. It was already riled up. We just lost. So I go over there trying to de-escalate the situation. And Trent father come over there and he like, no, man, what's up? Like, he called my wife. You know what I mean? He on one, which as he should. Mm-hmm. And the kid talking, da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, Pop, I got it. And he like, man, you got what? And did this. Like this. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't know if you know what this is, right? Yeah. Like you got a gun. Mm-hmm.
I'm from a beautiful place, the Pearl of Africa. Hailing with a 256, it's in my blood. That's a gem where the mountains rise. With stories untold, the tapestry of cultures unfolding, so vibrant and bold. A symphony of stars, a celestial light. The drums beating, echoing through the night. Just like a beacon of light, a reflection that's coming up from the Nile. I'm flowing straight into the heart of Africa with timeless stories untold. What's up, Doug?
I don't know what you guys do when you're gonna play the game. When you're going to huddle, what do you have your guys say when they're going to huddle before the game?
We say a prayer.
Oh, you say a prayer.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, the cameras are rolling.
We say a prayer.
Oh, you do say a prayer?
We say a prayer before we start anything. So
why did you choose that? Actually, I'm just gonna go right in because the question was pretty cool. I'll find where I put it. Why did you decide to choose a prayer? Because I see most teams that just go win on 3.
I mean, but reality is we're a Christian college.
Okay.
So like we still gotta honor God. Mm-hmm. You know, none of us wouldn't be on this earth if it wasn't for the man upstairs. So yeah. And we also going out there to play the game that God gave us. So yeah. I say we need to pray also to protect us on the floor. Yeah. You know, so no one get hurt or anything happen, injuries for both teams, not just my team as well. So that's why I do a prayer before practice. Okay. Or before any game. So even before we get on the road.
Is that all you do, or do you say a prayer and then you do?
I say a prayer. I say, dear Heavenly Father, please touch us on this floor in Jesus' name. We pray, amen. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family. Oh, okay. And then that's how we just.
All right. So you're gonna give us a countdown. For me, when I start my podcast, I have my guests do a countdown. Mm-hmm. Some of them have counted from 7, 3, but you can do whatever countdown you want.
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Get right into it. We're just gonna dive right into it.
Let's get it.
On me? Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Welcome once again to the Ugandan Boy Talk Show podcast, where I bring you conversations from people around the world. Some of these people, my friends, family, celebrities from Uganda, and I have some friends from the US that I bring on the podcast to talk to people, to share their story. And I'm honored to have Elijah Kess on the podcast. Elijah, welcome to the podcast.
Man, thank you. Thank you,
yes,
man.
Sir.
My guy.
Elijah is the head coach of the men's basketball team at Great Lakes Christian College. For those of you who have been following me on my podcast, you know I went to Great Lakes Christian College. I graduated from there. And I happened to be, I think you were a senior.
I was a senior.
I think I wasn't. Yeah, you were a senior. You were one class ahead of me, I think.
Yeah, I was a senior for sure.
Yeah, so I got to meet you there. Behind the camera, I told you what I remember from you one day in class. So we talked about, probably you don't remember, but I enjoyed watching you. Probably one of my favorite players, you, Jay Quinn, Isaiah. You were shooting the threes, lights out, lights at night. Man.
That was special.
Do you miss that?
Yeah, what? I wish I can hoop again. Just last week, Thursday, I just jumped in the drill with my players.
Yeah.
Like I just did a shooting drill with them. I just started warming up. I was getting ready, like I'm getting ready for a game. Yeah. So I miss basketball, man. I miss the sport. I miss playing it each and every day.
Yeah.
But, my job now is to give back, give the knowledge to the kids, or to my players, the young men. They're not kids. The young men on my team.
Right.
And, get them the wisdom and hopefully get them to the position where they want to be in life if they want to play professional basketball, or not even just about basketball, if they want to just train or they want to be a coach.
Yeah.
That's my job now, is give them the knowledge and the wisdom.
It's really cool and inspiring to see your journey, that you were once in their shoes and you're able to give them the knowledge that maybe some of the things you would have wished you could have done better when you're playing.
Yes.
Or some of the things that you didn't do that you want to pass on to them. It's really cool. I find it not easier, but I find it like when a coach was once a player, it actually makes a very good coach. I watch soccer, and the team that I watch, Arsenal, he was a player and he was a captain of the team,
right?
But he's now the head coach of the team. Right. He understands it and he lives it. So I think from what I've seen, you've achieved a lot of things even in your 1 year. I see on Instagram. But we're gonna get into your journey, and we're gonna start it right back from where you grew up. But before we go into all that, I got a few things I wanted to ask you about. Yes. We were just talking about the defense game. What was your thought about it?
Oh, man. Yeah, man. I was the first game, we played Friday. Yeah, Friday night. It was a tough matchup. It was Defiance home opener.
Okay.
So my guys was ready to play. They was ready to play. We came out with a victory. So that was good. I was positive about that. We talked about some negative stuff that we could have done better, but we had the quick turnaround. We was playing again yesterday at 1 p.m. So it wasn't so much that I can honk on right now, because we got a quick turnaround game. And then yesterday game, man, like I told you, I was sitting here, I'm still hurt over that, but the reality is, we beat ourselves that game. Like we was in the game, we was going back and forth against a good team, IU East. The coach there had been coaching for 20 years. Yeah. He actually, when I was playing back in the day, I actually played against IU East, and he was the coach. So he remembered me. Yeah. So that was a good conversation to have with him. But I also felt like I could have won yesterday. Yeah. But I also felt like, to be honest with you, this year too, for me, I could have made some better adjustments, but I didn't at the time. Still growing pains, which I'm understanding what I'm going to go through. But we lost the game in like the last 5 minutes. Like we was going back and forth, and then 5 minutes left in the game, one of my top players got hurt. So then one of my captain, my PG, he felt like he had to go hero ball. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because I was in his shoes before as well. So I get it, but at the same time, it's a team sport. So when you just said that I wish I can do things different? Yes, I do. Because if I go back when I was playing, it was times when I tried to go hero ball and I was not giving the ball to Jay Quinn at the time when I should have. So it's stuff like that you see in your players so much similarities, and you be like, so you can't really be hard on them, because you be like, you made the same mistakes when you was playing. Did that make sense? So, but yeah, we lost that game by 7, and we also missed too many free throws and turnovers. So we got a quick turnaround game again. We got a big game this upcoming Wednesday. We play Siena Heights at home, our home opener. So I can't talk about last game no more. I got to move on.
As a fan, I missed the atmosphere in the Dodie. I remember when you guys were in the Nationals, I was watching. I worked in a dish room. I have my phone up on the window. I'm just spraying dishes. I'm like watching you guys play. I missed that. I missed the atmosphere when the games were actually at home. Just watching you guys play, because that Dodie Center would get packed and would get noisy and screaming. And that brings me to the recent matchup you had with your former coach, Coach Rich. How was that reunion like?
That was a scrimmage. That felt like a national championship game, though. It was the atmosphere was crazy, man. Coach Rich, shout out to Coach Rich, man. I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for him. He holds a special place in my heart. We beat him though.
Yeah.
You know, we beat him. So I beat.
How many games did you play?
I beat my former coach. That's all I'm gonna say.
You sweep him? I think was it 4-0, right?
No, we only played once.
Okay.
So it was just a scrimmage, but we treated it like a real game.
Okay.
But we won. We came out on top. You know what I mean?
What did you do different to beat his team? Because I know he's smart at basketball. He's a good
It was just more so my guys were just more tougher.
Yeah.
And his guys is tough. He got a great group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk every day. Like I literally just got the phone probably like 20 minutes before I got here. So we talk every day about our guys. Mm-hmm. It was just that he was also telling his guys like how the Doty Center was going to be.
Right.
Because like you said, the atmosphere of the Doty Center is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone that comes in there don't think there's going to be an easy win.
No.
And his guys was not ready for that.
Yeah.
And my guys, you know, we was a little bit more apt because I'm coaching against my former coach.
Yeah.
I also got some of his former players still on my team to this day. So a lot of the guys was just playing with more passion, more urgency. Mm-hmm. Like we was determined to beat him, even though it was a scrimmage, like I said. But the atmosphere felt like a national championship game. And before all that, though, man, I gave Coach Rich his flowers because of the success that he did have at Great Lakes, the success that he did give me, you know, at Great Lakes, and what he did for the school.
Right.
Great Lakes probably would not be open right now if it wasn't for this man.
That is fact. And I remember I played soccer, but he was the director of sports, so he I know he was the head coach of basketball, but he took care of sports, made sure that the soccer team grows. And where it's at, I've been watching the soccer guys also now they're winning 8-0. We used to lose like 13-0. Some stuff like that. But yeah, I saw the clip of you hugging Coach Rich and it was so emotional just to watch that.
Yeah.
Because he was, like you said, he brought you into this position and he's guided you. And also that matchup to just watch, it was just fun. I just watched clips because I wasn't there, but it was really good to watch.
Yes.
So before I go into your main conversation, your main story, and I know we've already started talking about stuff, but I have a whole conversation here for you about your journey. But I've been doing different segments on the podcast. I have a segment for you that is this or that question. It's just 5 questions.
Okay.
And these are your 5 questions for this or that. Playing or coaching, which one do you find more fulfilling?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Because I miss playing.
Yeah.
But I love coaching now. But I miss playing because I be telling my players, if you was in front of me, I'd kill you on this court. But then I love coaching because I'm making kids believe in themselves that they never thought they can be in this position. Exactly. So if I want to say it, to be honest with you, it will be coaching.
Okay.
Just because I'm impacting these kids' lives into a whole nother level that I didn't think I can do. Mm-hmm. And now I'm doing it and I'm watching them grow as men, young men. Is amazing to me.
Definitely. I think that has a lot more impact, and like your goal is to give back to the community, like what the game gave to you, giving it back to the people. So it comes with a lot of other things. Though playing is cool too. Like you could see something and like, oh, I miss doing that.
Yeah, but, for sure.
Defense or offense? Which is your preferred style on the court?
Offense.
Yeah?
You know me, I get buckets.
Coach Rich says defense wins basketball.
Yeah. But you asking me. This ain't Coach Kess right now. This is Elijah Kess. Elijah Kess from Baltimore. Buckets. I like people that get buckets. Offense all day, baby. Offense.
City life or college campus? Which atmosphere feels more like home?
Say it again.
Is it city life or college campus? Which atmosphere feels more like home?
City life.
Yeah. I would say that. Sometimes college sucks. But teamwork or individual skills? Which one do you emphasize more?
Teamwork.
Okay.
Teamwork. Everything we do is a team. Mm-hmm. It don't even got to be about coaching.
Yeah.
You need a strong team. By your side. Mm-hmm. Like my fiance. She's part of my team. You know, like if I don't have a strong woman, then I'm not gonna be as strong.
That's fact.
So I'm big off teamwork. I'm really not an individual person, and that's probably why I always get myself hurt because I'm trying to always bring people on my team. Like, come on, like not talking about basketball, just in general. Like, let me teach you this, and then sometimes I get taken advantage of, and then I look stupid, but I just constantly keep doing it because I'm big off teamwork. So,
actually, funny thing, I just got a memory back in my head. I was driving back from Washington, D.C., and I met you at a gas station. I don't know if you remember that too.
Yep. Dang, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And I was coming from Baltimore. Yeah. I was on my way back to Michigan when I saw you.
Kess.
Yeah, you jumped out of the car. That was damn. What was that, like last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago because I went to get my passport from D.C.
Yeah.
The other one is practice drills or game day. Which one gets you more excited?
Game day.
Yeah.
Game day. But if I'm talking coach, I tell my team this all the time. We don't win Wednesday until we win Monday.
Yeah.
So we got to win Monday because Monday we got practice.
Yeah.
We got to win Tuesday because Tuesday we got practice. So once we prep ourselves Monday and Tuesday, then we should be ready. But the reality is, I'm a game day person. I get in a different mode when it's game day.
Game day is pretty.
Yeah,
pretty cool
for sure.
Anyway, we've already started to talk about your coaching, and you mentioned Baltimore. We've touched on a lot of things. This is a segment where we're gonna just dive into it. People just see your journey, even to get to where you're talking about the just previous game with Defiance. But can you take us back in your childhood in the inner city, Baltimore, and what are some of the challenges you faced growing up?
Man, that just gave me chills. But growing up in Baltimore was a different type of environment. Like, I know what people see on on TV, or a lot of people always ask me, "You watch The Wire?" Some of the TV, like The Wire TV shows, some parts was taking place in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I was seeing death on a regular basis, to be honest with you. You know, like, all jokes to the side, a homicide was going down in my neighborhood at least 3 times out the week. And it was rough, you know, and growing up, I didn't come from the wealthiest family.
Yeah.
My mom, my granddad, and my grandfather, my grandmother and my uncles, they made the best way for us. But the reality was, like, they only could do so much. My mom was working 2 jobs. My grandfather was working 2 jobs. My grandma was a housewife. My uncle, you know, me and him, like, damn near the same age, but he, like, more so like my father, because I didn't have my father in the picture. So it was kind of hard, you know, like, just making that adjustment and hearing sirens every night. But then after a while, like, once you get used to it, like, when you get like 6 years old, you get used to that type of stuff.
6 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I wouldn't want to be from nowhere else but Baltimore, because Baltimore made me. My neighborhood made me. I got some real friends that nowadays people call friends. I really have some real friends that I can say that's from my neighborhood that actually let me down, like, was leading me down the right path, not the wrong path. Like, I did some stuff I shouldn't have done in my past, for sure. But once I lost some people, lost my little brother, you know, lost a couple close friends, you know, like one of my big homies right now, like, he just came home from jail, but he's always leading me down the right path. And what I mean by that is telling me, like, yo, go to the gym, or go practice, go to practice, go to football. Like, and that's what I call a real friend. Real friends. And I mean, not just one person. I had multiple friends that's right now that's locked up, or maybe some of them may be dead, but the ones that's locked up, they still call me to this day and tell me how proud they is of me, because I made it out for my environment. I made it out. It was hard. It's hard coming out of Baltimore. And it's also hard when you're coming out of Baltimore from one of the toughest neighborhoods in Baltimore City. See, that's where I live in, one of the toughest neighborhoods in Baltimore City. So it just having, like, the right people around me to keep me in the right focus, you know, like, not blocking distractions, like, not worrying about that. Like, go to school. Make sure you go to school. My grandma used to always say, I don't know why y'all hook school. That's where all the girls at. The reality is, that's true. So I was like, you know what? Let me stop hooking school, man. Let me take my butt to school. And then, you know, you got your big homies, like, they was on me a lot, especially when they saw that I was really getting good at basketball. They wasn't letting me come outside, stand on the corner with them for nothing. Like, probably an hour or 2, I'd just be out there just chilling because it's my neighborhood. After that, my big homie like, man, see you. Go to the gym and get out of here. And right now, he just came home, and, like, he's one of my closest friends there, to the point where he's going to be at my wedding, because even when he was locked up, he still was calling me, giving me advice. He wasn't calling me about money. He was calling me about what's going on, like, how's school, or when I was in school, or how ball. Now he see me coaching. People don't really know my story though.
Exactly.
So when he see me coaching, he like, man, if y'all knew what this boy been through, y'all be as proud of him as we are now. So
no, that's really dope. And like you said, people don't know your story. Some people might see you, some people might judge you, some people might see the way you do things, but they don't really know your story. And this is why I like podcasts, because it gives you an opportunity to. You won't be able to tell people everything about your life, but maybe they'll get a glimpse to see that about your life. But are there any lessons you've learned from? I know you've talked about some of them, but from your experience growing up in that neighborhood and that have continued to guide you till today, that you stand by this, you stand on that.
I stand on real.
Yeah,
being around real people, and sometimes my fiance say all the time, I'm too blunt. I speak my mind, like my uncle. But like if you meet my mom, you meet my family.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, that's just his family. Like that's just him. Like I stand on just being around real people.
Right.
It's two type of people in this world. I don't look at color. I don't look at the race. I look at real and fake.
Exactly.
And I can't be around a fake person. If I be around a fake person, I'm gonna have to remove myself because I don't want to react a certain way that's gonna get me in trouble. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
so I'd rather just, all right, I gotta remove myself from this person, or this person gotta remove itself from me. Either way, I gotta get away from him.
Right.
I stand on that. I stand on loyalty. That's probably one of the biggest things, and I got it tatted on me right here. Like that's probably one of the biggest things about me is loyalty, because I come from a neighborhood where we'll be talking right now, me and you, homeboys, and I walk away from you, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, I gotta kill him. I come from that type of neighborhood, so I'm big off loyalty. Like loyalty is my life.
Yeah,
and if you're not loyal to me, I don't do well with you.
No, that's dope, and that's really real. Like it's real conversation, because some of these things I'll be seeing them in movies, but sitting down with somebody who was actually experienced, like it's really deep and like emotional.
And it gives me chills, because like, and this ain't for the podcast or none of that. I'm being completely honest with you. Like my fiance comes to Baltimore, and she's from Michigan. She's from Grand Rapids, Kentwood.
Yeah.
And she comes to Baltimore, and I'm telling her the stories when she was meeting, like when we was getting together, you know. And I know she was like, man, you making that up. It sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
But nah, she come to Baltimore, and she see my neighborhood. She see people on the corner, or she see the love that I get when I come home. Like I'm like a neighborhood hero, or she see that this person said, yo, this gotta happen to him, or this, she'll go back in the house, me and her, and be like, you wasn't lying. And I'll be like, nah. Like the reality is my life is really like a movie.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing to lie about. Like I saw people get killed. I saw a body getting, one of my little brother, my closest friends died in my arms.
Yeah.
My cousin died in my arms. So it's like I saw so much stuff in my life that I don't want to be around a fake person. Right. And I can sense it when I am. I can sense the energy. So if I sense the energy and I got this bad gut in my feeling, I remove myself, because I've been around it. And that's what comes with, I don't wish I wasn't from, I mean, I'm glad I'm not from nowhere else but Baltimore, because I'm street smart just as much as I'm book smart. I'm very intelligent, and a lot of people don't know that about me. So I'm already 5 steps ahead of you. That's what I learned from being in the streets. You learn how to be 5 or 6 steps ahead of you. My big homie taught me that, and I appreciate him to the utmost, because it's not even just about being street. It's in life in general. Everything you're doing is chess. And that's what he was telling me and teaching me, like, this is how you got to move around this scenario, even in business. So
no, that's a lesson right there. And hope for all of the people that are listening, even some of our friends are tuning in from Uganda, they'll be asking me this question about the US. I got an opportunity to go to Baltimore this year. I was visiting a buddy of mine, and I took a trip downtown Baltimore and the projects, and I was working with a buddy and just showing me the environment. I was like, yeah. So I can connect to that. I mean, I didn't see anything happening, but just walking down there, you'd see like...
Sometimes it's just, you can be walking up the street. Seriously, man. I'm going to be honest. You can literally be walking up the street, and all you see is gunshots. A dude pointing a gun, shooting at stuff, blah, 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 blah. And this what you do.
Yeah.
You turn the other way and you just walk this way. But that's what I was using. Like, that's what I see.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But don't get it twisted. It's a lot of positive stuff in Baltimore as well, though. It's a lot of positive. Like, for me, I do a back to school drive for my neighborhood every year. That's me giving back. You know what I mean by that is I'm giving away 300 book bags, crayons, school supplies.
Yeah.
You know, like me and my neighborhood and the guys that's still alive or still around, I try to get us all together and contribute to giving back to our neighborhood because we don't want this. We don't want them to not go to school. We don't want them to sell drugs. We don't want those type of things. And that's something special that I love about it.
Actually, that brings me to that segment of like giving back to the community, because I was going to ask you about that. My question was going to be what inspired you to giving back to the community, but you just answered that. But are there any specific people or events from your past that motivated you to make that difference in other people's lives?
Say it one more time. Sorry.
Are there people?
Like what person made me?
Events, yeah.
What person?
Is it just like your events that you went through that made you want to give back to the community?
Yes.
Or is there somebody who...
So it's the stuff that I went through. It's the stuff that I saw from my community.
Yeah.
Because like the reality is my community is not the same no more. My neighborhood back in the day, like 2016, 2015, a lot of my closest friends got indicted.
Yeah.
And that means they went to prison.
Yeah.
And now, you know, that hurt me. Like I'm a loyal person. So that they wasn't my friends, they was my family. Like they was the people when I come home from college, I was kicking it with them for a little bit. You know what I mean? Just having fun with them.
Right.
And now I go back to my neighborhood and it's nowhere near the same. Like it's completely different. Like it's little kids out there that I saw that never even came outside, but now they outside. Now they so tough. Now you got people out here shooting each other. Like what is going on? And it just, that neighborhood means so much to me. And I can cry because that neighborhood saved so many lives at the same time. Like we was not just a neighborhood, it was literally was a family.
Yeah.
So when I go home now, I drive around my neighborhood by myself. Like before I go in the house and before I leave. I do it every night. Every time I come home, like till this day. And I just reminisce because before all that stuff happened, like when they was doing whatever they was doing outside, we was kids. And we was kids used to run around, you know, like being a kid, like play football outside. We used to have block parties. Like one of my OGs used to throw us big block parties, back to school parties for the kids. Like, and that's someone that actually inspired me to continue this because he stopped doing it because he like, man, that neighborhood not the same. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I was like, all right, I may not throw a block party, but I can give away something because I do have kids in my neighborhood or down the street that don't have much because I know my neighborhood. We don't come from much. So that's when I contribute to school supplies, book supplies, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And I'm big into that. Even me, when I got opportunity to come to America, I come from a third world country. It might not be the same as Baltimore in lifestyle, but I know there's a lot of poor families back in Uganda that anytime I get something, I want to do something for them. I'm always thinking about them because I know there's a kid back there who is going to benefit from my opportunities of being in this position where I'm at. I like that. But what message would you send or share to a young person who is in the same place where you were growing up from? Like, I know you have buddies in Baltimore that are going to tune into this podcast, maybe somebody you don't know.
Oh, for sure.
What message would you send to them?
Don't give up on your dreams. If things not going your way, you make a difference. You make a change. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean you go out there and you go sell drugs to these kids. I don't mean that. What I mean is, and I was taught this in high school. My high school coach said this, and it stuck with me. Use the sport. You go play a sport. You all have an opportunity to play a sport. And if you can play a sport, right. And use that sport for a tool. So so for example, I use basketball, a tool to get me through college. What I mean by that is, I didn't have to pay for college until I got to Great Lakes. But I didn't have to pay for no college that I went to before Great Lakes because I used basketball as a tool to get me through college. And when I mean all that, I was going to class on time. I was taking care of my schoolwork. So I was getting them scholarships. But what made me go to class? Basketball. So it's like, if you can make a change, make a change. And if you feel like you stuck, get close to God. Because you may be the one to break this generation curse. Like, I am the one for my family. I am the blueprint of my family. I am the person, what they say, the Nordic, something like that, like the special child. Yeah. And I don't like saying that, but I can feel it. I can sense it. My journey says it. I don't have to say it. And I had to realize that I am the special child, so I got to keep going. It's times when I want to stop. Yeah. It's times when whoever is listening going to want to stop because they're like, man, it's too hard. Your mom stressing out, your mom working 2 jobs, grandma not there, father ain't allowed. And you going to be like, man, I might just go outside, go sell some drugs. Nah, that's not the wave, man. That's not the wave.
No, I like that. And actually, I like the conversation because it's driving me to where actually like I wanted to go. And you mentioned something, basketball saved your life. It sent you to college. And that brings me to your basketball journey, which I want to cover with you. When did you fall in love with basketball? Or like, and you just mentioned like it was it a form of escape or like expression like for you?
I fell in love with basketball after death, after I lost my little brother. One of my closest friends, yeah. I lost him, then I lost another close friend.
Were you playing basketball with them?
We was doing everything. Yeah. Basketball, football, being bad, hooking school. Yeah. But when I started seeing people that I was losing from my neighborhood because of the streets, it changed my mindset. And also, just being honest, when I got locked up, juvenile, I mean, I went in there twice. That second time, my grandfather said till this day, I came home, I was in there for like, 48 hours? I felt like I was in there for like 5 years. I was like, man, this ain't it. My feet cold. They took the belt. They gave me a cold sandwich, Oreos, man. And all because we live by this code that we not snitching. Yeah. And we got into a little fight. You know, we was kids. I was like 12 years old or something. We got into a little fight. Me and my homeboys beat the boy up. And the parents pressed charges. But reality, all speaking, I was like, dog, I'm not coming back in this. Like, I can't do this. Like, and my grandfather used to say it on the regular when he knew I was like bad. Yeah. He like, you act like you want to sleep all day. If you was locked up, you had to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, people breath all in your face and da 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 da. Man, I was in there for 48 hours. It felt like 3 years, 5 years. And I left. When I walked out of that cell, my grandfather was right there. And I said to him, I ain't going back, Pop. Right. And I knew it was going to take some time. It wasn't going to happen overnight for me to stop, change my whole life. It took some time. But that's when my real friends from my neighborhood, shout out my man E-Man, man. That's my big homie, man. Like him, my god brother, Chris, shout out to him. You're good in basketball. This is what you're going to do. And I used to sit at the Y all night because it kept me busy. It kept me out of the streets. Right. Like, you know what I mean? So you got school, then when you get out, you got practice. Yeah. By the time then you like, man, I'm tired, man. I ain't trying to go outside today. But I used to sit at the YMCA all night, every day, and just watch the grown men play. Yeah. And I'd be like, man, I'm trying. And they was never put me up. They never picked me up. Yeah. And my determination is out the roof. So one guy was like, man, you suck. Yeah. And I had a mouth. Oh, what are you talking to, nigga? Man, but I got better. And that's how I fell in love with it.
It's crazy because even now we're here because of basketball.
Yes.
Like if you track it back, we're here because of basketball.
Basketball saved my life.
You came to Great Lakes. I knew you through Great Lakes. We kept a friendship through Great Lakes. And we're here having this conversation because of basketball. Can you share some of the highlights from your basketball career that stand out as a pivot moment for you?
Just getting an opportunity to play. But Being the only sophomore in Baltimore City at the time. What was another one? But at the time, being the only sophomore in Baltimore City basketball is one of the top basketballs in the country.
Okay.
It changed now, but back then, yeah, it was top. Being the only sophomore in Baltimore City to play for a great high school coach, and be the only one to win a state championship that year, and played though on varsity.
Yeah.
So I never touched JV. Never.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like, the plan was for me to play JV, but my dog mentality from playing outside, my hard work, my high school coach like, no, he's playing varsity. And I played varsity, and I was the 8th man on a state championship team when I probably had like 6 Division I players on my team that year, but I was still able to get in the game as a sophomore. Oh, hell yeah. That's something I would never forget. That was amazing.
That's crazy, and I didn't have this question down here, but I was going to ask you, how did your life cross paths with Coach Rich? How do you meet Coach Rich? Because I know he's the one who brought you to Great Lakes, right?
Yeah.
How did you meet him the first time?
You want me to answer that one, or you want me to give you another highlight?
Give me another highlight, and then you answer that one next.
I got 2.
Okay.
My next one is going to college. Seeing that smile on my mama's face. And my grandmother, my uncle, and my grandfather, like, seeing my grandfather, like, bragging. Because Elijah Kess back then had painted a picture saying that he was going to either be dead or locked up. So for me to see that and have an opportunity to start receiving offers to go play college basketball was a shock. I never thought I'd play college. I never thought I would even hoop. But now I'm about to go play college basketball at a high level, though. Not just, no offense, I ain't trying to brag, but I went to a Division I JUCO in Colorado. I'm flying all the way from Baltimore to Colorado at a Division I top-ranked JUCO, and started 2 years in a row. I started my freshman year and started my sophomore year, and then I wound up perceiving that going Division I to North Dakota, Jamestown. And then this is how everything translates to me and Rich. Okay. So after I left Jamestown, I did not play. I got hurt. Okay. That was in North Dakota. I wound up coming back home, close to home, not back home, but I wound up going to school, Washington Venice. That was in DC. Okay. Had a very successful year my junior year. But going into my senior year, I was dealing with I was depressed. I was messed up mentally. And the reason why I was messed up mentally is because my neighborhood got indicted. So all my friends is gone. Only one I got left was probably like 4 of them. Back then, I only had like 4 left that was like still around. Right. Me and my god brother wasn't seeing eye to eye because all our friends is gone. My grandmother she's an alcoholic. Well, at the time, my grandparents was alcoholics. So my grandmother wasn't the same mentally. She was in and out the psych ward. You know what I mean? That takes a toll on me. Like, as you see, I keep talking about 4 people. My grandmother, my grandfather, my uncle, my mom. Right. That's all we had. And seeing my grandfather, that's my heart. Like, he's like, if the doctor tell me right now he need a heart, he taking mine. That's how much he means to me, him and my uncle. But my grandfather wasn't in the right state of mind. So I just wasn't in the mentally, I was just mentally done, man. Like, it was to the point where I was about to kill myself. That year. That was 2017. Wow. Yeah, I was about to, but I was, and I felt like my family should be proud of me because I'm about to graduate, because I'm actually going into my senior year at Washington Venice. But I'm not gonna say they wasn't proud of me. They just got, we got real life going on right now. Right. And I wound up taking it back to Washington Venice going into that school year. My senior year, we was going to be really good. Well, they was really good that year. But I was going to put the icing on the cake because I was a returnee. I taught returning. Yeah. And me and my coach, shout out to Coach Pat, man. That's my dog. He coach at FAMU now. He's like a father figure to me too. But me and him ain't see eye to eye. He a coach from DC. I'm from Baltimore. Yeah. I'm already mad. He usually can talk to me crazy to get me going. But he talked to me crazy and I wowed out. Like, who you talking to? But the reason why I wowed out on him was because I was dealing with so much stuff mentally. It wasn't about the basketball, because what he was saying was right. I was tripping. And shout out to Jamal. You know Jamal, right?
Jamal.
You know, that's my brother. But I call him just venting, just talking homeboy to homeboy. You know, he at Great Lakes.
Yeah.
I'm at Washington Minutes. So I'm like, yeah, yo. I don't know, yo. I may be transferring, yo. Coach Pat tripping. Whole time Pat wasn't tripping, but he like, man, what? For real? Man, you know my coach will take you. I'm like, man, I'm not going to no Great Lakes Christian College, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Michigan.
Like, I just came from North Dakota and Colorado. I like where I'm at right now in DC. I'm a little close to home.
Right.
Jamal just being a homeboy. I never was mad at Jamal for this though. Shout out to Jamal, man. I never was mad at him. He's just being a brother.
Right.
He reached out to Rich though. Hey, man, my brother may be available. You can get him. He can play a little bit. And Rich, being a coach, he do his research. Like, who is Elijah Kess? He see like, oh nah, yo went D1, D1. And he played from Baltimore. Oh, he a dog. You know what I mean? Like, and he had a great year, junior year. I need him.
Yeah.
I never talked to Rich. Rich immediately texts Pat.
Yeah.
So Pat immediately texts me, send me the screenshot, like, yo, this what we doing? And I'm like, bro, I'm lost. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yo, why you still going? And he like, man, I thought you was supposed to be my captain, my leader. How this look to my freshmen, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
I'm like, dog, I never talked to Rich. I don't even know who this person is. Like, I'm telling him, like, yo, I called him, like, yo, that wasn't me. Yo, he's like, yeah, whatever. You don't want to be a part of it. Because from a coach's point of view, now I'm a coach. I see it, how I look.
Right.
Man, he like, man. Then the next day we had picture day at Washington Minutes. He like, man, show up at pictures. What kind of pictures? I was supposed to get interviewed from the person that was interviewing my team because I was a top returnee that came back. And Pat was like, man, no, man, you're not interviewing Elijah. You don't interview Elijah Maynard. And I'm like, what? So right then and there, I'm like, man, here he go. And my mind is still not on track because I got some family stuff going on.
Right.
And long story short, man, Coach Pat, he wrote a post about me when we played against him. Like 3 years ago, we went to Florida. He coached at
when you're at Great Lakes now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And said that he didn't handle the situation well. And it's not just all on him, me too. Me being a man, I got to look at myself in the mirror like, I shouldn't have said what I said to him too. I told him something crazy. Like that Eastside Baltimore came out of me like, that's my coach. He's like, oh, you talking to me? Yeah, but long story short, you know, I wound up leaving Washington Minutes. Then I contacted Rich. And he was like, yeah, I take you. And I was like, all right. I'm thinking I'm walking into a university because that's what I'm used to. So I'm like, all right, yo. And then Rich was like, I can get your year back. Because mind you, I was technically a senior.
Right.
But I never played.
Right.
He's like, yo, I can get your year back. So I'm like, oh, I can get my full year back. So I don't have to come in second semester and play. Like, nah. All right, bet. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to Great Lakes. I go up there, man. Rich picked me up from the airport. We chopping it up. We talking. And I'm already depressed. I'm already not in shape. Like, I'm just like, man, we pull up at the school. I'm like, yo, this it? Like, what we doing?
One building.
The trap. That's the trenches. So I'm like, yo, hold up. He like, yeah. This is it. And I'm like, so I'm calling Ma like, yo, I gotta holler at you, bro. Man, he get me in my dorms. And me personally though, because I come from nothing,
right? I'm
like, the dorm's cool.
Right.
I'm like, the dorm's all right.
Yeah.
They give you a couch. You get a little bed. We get your own bathroom. I'm like, oh, all right, I can work with the dorms a little bit. Like, all right. Then he tell me, yeah, no girls in the dorms. What? Oh, come on, man. What we doing, man? It's a Christian college, Cass. I'm like, yeah, man, great. And then ever since that, man, you know, I set out that whole year. And that's when Jay Quinn and Isaiah and Lance went to the national tournament, and they lost at the buzzer. But I was there. Yeah. I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And then that second year, that's when I played. But going into that second year, or going into that year when I was ready to play, I told myself, because I had to go back home that summer, I told myself, control what I can control. Because I was still depressed. And that's when I started talking to God. I always had a faith with God, though. Like, me and God got his own, but I was getting closer to him. And it's crazy because that summer, that was my best summer as far as everything. Basketball, life, everything. Like, I felt like my family was coming back together. You know, I was getting back to myself. Like, I wasn't even looking at myself when I came to Great Lakes, like, playing wise. I felt like I wasn't good. Like, but I really was good, but it was like, But then I think this was a test that God gave me on this part where that summer everything going good. But my little brother, Webby, he died. And I just literally I was with him.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was like a test, like, how you going to react with this? And it don't get me wrong, I was messed up in the head mentally. But I had to control what I can control. Exactly. Because usually I always try to put my problem, like, if you got a problem, then I got a problem. Yeah. And I'm trying to fix your problem. Sometimes I don't need to do that. But it's hard for me sometimes because I care hard. Yeah. I love hard. My loyalty is to this person. But, you know, I went through that stage, but then I just like snapped out of it and gave it to God. And then that was my best college career at Great Lakes with Coach Rich.
No, that was amazing. And just like I said at the beginning, just watching you, the energy you brought. Every time you got the ball out of the D, I knew that was a 3. Yeah. So he's gonna make it. It was fun watching you. And it's pretty cool to now just sit down with you and listen to this story. I know a lot of people who have watched you play, watch your life, might not know some of the things in your life. And again, I like this, that somebody will sit down and listen to your story and they get a better understanding of how your life is or how you live the life you live. And even your players, I know you talk to them every day, all the time, encourage them, but maybe part of this story, they don't know it. And when they listen to it, it will change your life. And that reminds me of Damari on the podcast here.
My boy.
You played with him a little bit, and then you coached him.
He played with me a little bit. He was the freshman. He was my backup. Nah, man, Mari, man, that's my dog, man. Like, Mari hold a special place in my heart. Like, when he was a freshman, and I ain't saying this because of the podcast. But when he was a freshman, I didn't even remember this till he told me this last year. He said that we was in a hotel room because I was a singer. He was my room. He was my room assignment. Yeah. And he was like, he said, I told him, look, shorty, if you get a little handle, man, you can be all right. And I did tell him that. I remember, like, damn, I did tell him that. Damari was actually, I don't even like talking about it because Damari was supposed to be Kevin, right? Like, those two came together.
25.
Yeah, so they were supposed to be like, they was the future. And, you know, we all go through stages in our lives, but, like, I felt like if Damari would have just stayed on track and stayed focused with basketball, we probably would be talking about Damari probably playing somewhere in a TBL or probably getting an opportunity to go to a combine. And I'm not saying Damari was that good, but Damari was good enough to be an All-American at Great Lakes for a fact. But, you know, things change. Stuff happens. Yeah. He's doing very well now. You know, I'm proud of him. You know, that's my media guy. Yeah. So, you know, me and him working together. We got something cooking up that we trying to do right now for our little unranked episode.
I know. I've seen
tap into that, man. Tap in, man. Unranked. Episode 1.
I've seen some of the clips. He is really talented. He is really good at what he's doing. Man. The way he captions the team, like whatever you guys do, it's even us who are not at the games, we have that feeling of just being close to the game, even through a screen. It's been pretty good.
Damari, man. And then it's crazy because, like, he know me more than anybody.
Right.
Like him and Kevin. So when I was coaching him and Kevin last year, it was so hard because I played with them.
Right.
So like it's times where I'm talking and Damari look at me and he want to laugh because he know me. But I'm like, Mari, I'm your coach. I'm not your teammate.
Yeah.
But he laughing, so I got like he doing that. So I was like, I got to do a little side eye. This nigga, bro, he just know how, him and Kevin, man. Him and Kevin know how to get under my skin, but they like my baby brothers, man.
Oh, that's dope to watch. You mentioned Kevin. I remember him. He was a good player too. I think he just graduate?
Yeah, he had an amazing year last year playing for me. A great last year.
I told Jay Quinn this when I came from Uganda. I wasn't big in basketball because basketball is not big where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came to Great Lakes, watching you guys play, even like Jay Quinn, it built my love for basketball. Like I would sit down and watch NBA, watch college basketball.
Really?
I do that. Like I have NBA pass just to watch NBA, just to watch.
You be doing your parlays?
Yeah, no, I don't do parlay, but like I pay the subscription to watch the games and Great Lakes games. Like I launched basketball through you guys, watching you guys play, and it just made me happy. It just brought something to my heart. I have Jay Quinn's jersey up there.
Yeah, I saw that.
He gave it to me when I was here.
Scrub. Nah, man. But, me and Jay Quinn relationship grown a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's, I don't know if Jay Quinn told you, man. Him ain't like each other. Well, I ain't like him.
You didn't like him?
Nah, I ain't like Jay.
Why?
Jay thought he was too good.
He is like that, bro.
Yeah, he was like that. Then when I'm coming in, I'm a transfer. So he like, man, this is my, you know what I mean? This is my team. And I'm like, nah, this is my team.
Yeah.
And he like, you just got here. But man, me and Jay Quinn had a real deep conversation my senior year, second semester, because Jay Quinn was struggling the first semester. And me and Jay Quinn had a deep conversation, man. And we, ever since that conversation, like his game evolved.
Right. Yeah.
Me and his relationship evolved. That's why I say, man, you don't know who you're going to be. Like, I did not know I would be this close to Jay Quinn. Like, Jay Quinn is like my brother.
Right.
Like, that's my, like, he comes to Lansing. You know he don't live in Lansing no more. He's staying at my house. Yeah. Him and his whole family. Like, that's how we carried over here. And Jay Quinn is a real person. So it's like, I could sense it. Like, I don't feel no fake with Jay. And it was like, I may not like certain things that he do.
Yeah.
I know he don't like certain things I do.
Yeah.
But the reality is, man, that's my dog, man. I love Jay Quinn, man.
Good. He's a great guy. And yeah. How about Isaiah? Isaiah is somebody you played with, and I think he was assistant coach.
Yeah, man. Isaiah good peoples, man. He good peoples, you know. He was a great player at Great Lakes. I never will take that away from him. You know what I mean, he did some very special things there. 4-time All-American. You can't write that off.
Yeah.
He was my assistant last year. This year, you know, we went in a different direction because he had some work stuff that he had to take care of, you know, and lock in on his career with his journey, which is understandable because Great Lakes don't pay a lot still. So you know.
No, that's understandable. And it's pretty cool. Like, just memories are just coming back to just when you guys played and your relationship and everybody. So we've already talked about a little bit of your coaching. How do you then transition from a player to now wanting to be a coach?
So last year, I would say, like, me being my first year head coach, I tell him this. I say this now. Back then, I didn't say it. Last year, I didn't say it. I just rolled the ball out there and was like, man, that's what we gonna do.
Okay.
And just like, whatever I learned from my former coach, Rich, shout out, you know, that's my dog, Coach Pat.
You were his assistant?
Yeah, I was his assistant for 3 years.
Okay.
But when I became the head coach, I had to make the adjustment to not being a player no more and being that coach. Okay. So it's time where I'll be yelling at them because I'll be like, I would have made that shot. But they not me. So stop thinking that they you because that ain't. So it was just hard just going through that transition, man, like being a player. And then a lot of these players played with you, like Damari, Kevin. So it's like, it was a hard transition. But then this year, I did my homework. Yeah. Like this, I'll bust my butt this off season, this summer. Like last year, I went 17-11. And Damari don't like me saying this. And that first year, like last year group, they my dogs. Like I will never forget that. But Damari don't like me saying this. But That was probably one of the worst teams that Great Lakes ever had. But we went 17-11, and we lost in the regional championship.
Yeah.
And that was only year one for me.
Yeah.
So I had to go back to myself and look myself in the mirror and be a man and be like, yo, this may be my calling. Because I'm impacting these kids' lives, not just about basketball, but just in life general.
Yeah.
I can tell them my story and tell them what not to do.
Right.
Or what to do. And year two, man, well, so far we 2-1, but hopefully, we continue to win.
Yeah.
If God willing. But this off summer, man, I worked my tail off, man. Like I took myself from being a player and just strictly a coach. But I'm still a player, but I'm just a coach.
Yeah.
And what I mean by I went to 4 Division I practices. I connected with 7 Division I coaches, just talking, just basketball.
Yeah.
I watched so much film.
Yeah. I think I've seen that on Instagram too. Like you have a lot of.
And Coach Rich said all the time, like, I'm way more advanced than he was when he was year 2.
Yeah.
And like, so I always had a feel for the game, but like I started breaking it down and like my dedication. So how I looked at it was I was a hard worker. I'm sorry. Man. I was a hard worker when I was a basketball player. So I'm like, all right, I'm a coach now. So all the hard work I used to do when I was a basketball player, I make it as a coach.
Yep.
So I don't go to sleep until I watch 3 hours of film.
Do you just watch your team, or do you watch?
I watch everything.
Oh yeah.
I was just telling Damari this. This is how I set up.
Okay.
I got my phone in this hand, got my iPad on this hand, and I got my TV on. And with all that going on, I got my scouting report, my notes. Then I got the college game.
Yeah.
Then I got NBA.
Yeah.
I'm watching nothing but basketball for 3 hours straight.
Wow.
My fiance be mad as hell. He be mad.
Yeah.
My daughter be running around. I be locked in. I be trying to make her watch it.
Yeah.
Gotta get her ready.
Yeah.
I don't sleep.
Yeah.
Like I'll go, like my team is probably, I know they probably won't watch this, but when we lose a game, like yesterday, I didn't go to sleep till 4 o'clock. I watched that film 3 times in a row because that's how dedicated I am to be the best.
That's great.
And I also, it's not just for me, it's letting my kids know that I care about them. I'm not just collecting a check. I want them to be successful.
Right.
I need them to be successful because that's what my job is on this earth. That's what God made me to do for them. So I'm not going to half-ass them. Excuse my language, but I'm not.
That's good. No, that's something a player would want to hear from a coach or somebody. The dedication and the love that somebody has towards something. I have so much respect when people have love to their game, their job, whatever they do, when you put everything to it. And as one of your players, I would definitely love to hear that because I know this guy is invested in me, in my talent, and he wants to make me better. And that's something, as a player, I played soccer. It's something as a player that I think I didn't do very well to understand my coach. Is like, my coach is not here to make me bad or to, even when he screams at me, he's not screaming at me because he hates me. He's screaming at me because he wants me to be better. So every time my coach was yelling at me or something, or even when I was playing, and Dino remembers this, he was coaching us one time. He's like, Bahani, come back here. I was in the game. I was like, Dino, shut up. I was pissed. I'm like, but it took me a while to understand that when the coach is on the sideline, even when he's screaming at you, when he's yelling at you, it's not like he hates you.
He sees something in you.
He sees something in you, and he's probably just a little frustrated that you could have done better, and he wants you to change that. No. So I think as players, that's something that I would say.
I tell my players all the time, listen to what I'm saying, not how I'm saying it.
Right.
So I may be like, Darian, what the you doing?
Yeah.
But I'm yelling at it.
Yeah.
But the reality is, all I'm saying is, what are you doing, bro? Like, you tripping right now. Yeah. But this generation is different compared to how we was brought up. So it's like, and that's another thing that I had to get adapted to is this year from last year, making an adjustment for my players as well.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is like, I can't ask my player to meet me halfway and I ain't meet him. And one of my probably gonna go down one of my favorite players, annoying players. My point guard right now, you know, he made me a better coach. Like, he made me reevaluate myself. Him and also my other singer, Jalen Johnson, Slim. Because I broke that kid down last year to the point where I didn't even make an adjustment to change to meet him halfway. And that's not fair.
Right.
But that's when you know that you look yourself in the mirror and be like, I could have done better at this part. But then you also explain to him, like, all right, I'm going to do this. Yeah. But I need you to do this for me. And now, like, now both of them, my point guard and Jalen, our relationship is probably stronger than it's ever been. Like, Jalen, I don't even say nothing to him. Yeah. I just let him just play basketball. Yeah. I mean, I still yell at him, but it's rare. I know how to talk to him now. Darian, it's a way better understanding what it was last year. It's like, all right, coach, I got you, but can you do this for me? And I'm like, I got you. But I need you to do this because at the end of the day, I'm still your coach. Right. And he's like, I got you. So now our relationship is better. And that's also what made me a better coach. And I remember my fiance, shout out to my baby, she was like, because I wasn't going to bring my point guard back last year because of what he did. And my fiance was like, so what you don't think you're going to run across another Darian? And I'm like, what you mean? If you want to say this your calling, you don't think you're going to run across another Darian that every time you get another Darian, you just going to let him go? Or you're not going to try to work it out? You're not going to try to fix it? You're not going to try to hear him out? Yeah. And it made me sit back and be like, damn. So let me get this right now, because down there, year 15, I may run across another Darian. And it may not be I need to just kick him to the curb. I may just need to understand this kid because he may be brought up different. You feel me? And that's the adjustment I had to make from year 1 to year 2 as well.
No, that is really good. And I think you have all the good qualities of a good coach. And just when you just got in here, we're talking about the defense game, and you're like, oh man, I should have done some adjustments better for that game. And reminded me of, I watch basketball. I even watch post-game interviews. So I was watching Coach Carr. He was talking about one of the game. He's like, I did some mistakes as a coach. I should have made some subs. And then there's some subs that I did that hurt our game. So when a coach takes ownership of something, it's really good not to blame it to the players. Like, oh, this is. Sometimes it's good to own something. Okay, that was my bad. I'll learn from it, because at the end of the day, everybody's learning and everybody's going to be better. Anyway, a question I want to ask you about coaching is, are there specific goals you hope to achieve while you're there at Great Lakes? Is either personally or professionally?
My goal is to make sure every kid that comes to me stays at Great Lakes, but also graduate.
That's good.
That's the first goal. I want them to walk across the stage, because the reality is, you've been at Great Lakes. Yeah. You're alumni. You see what type of, don't take this wrong way, but you see what type of student athletes we get, especially for men's basketball. Yeah. Kids that don't come from much. So my job is to make sure that I'm making their parents proud by making them men. They cannot go back the same way they left. If they came to me this way, I promise you he's not going to come back the same way. Right. He's going to come back a better man. And my job is also to make sure that he walk across this stage. I can care less if you can put the ball in the basket. Don't get me wrong. I'm a competitor, and I win. I want to win. I want to win. But the reality is, that ball is going to stop. Yeah. And the odds is already against us. And I'm just keeping it real. I need them to understand that they got to get this piece of paper. And they got to be intelligent. And you got to be focused when you out here in the real world. So I'm teaching them more so life skills than just basketball. I'd rather teach you life skills, and I'm using basketball as a tool to teach you the game. But I'm actually just teaching you life skills through basketball. Yeah.
No, that's dope, and I don't think I can add on to that. That's a mic drop right there. One small thing I just remembered. I know you guys might have had this argument when you're playing players from Flint and players from Baltimore. What do you think about the players from Flint?
What?
Like the players from, the guys from...
I got what you're saying.
From Flint.
They not good. Jay Quinn and them not good.
The Beecher boys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Man. Michigan got some ball players. It's just, they're a little different compared to us Baltimore hoopers. They're a little different. That's all I'm going to say. But don't get me wrong. Michigan got some hoopers. Yeah. but they're a little different.
No, I thought I would put that out there. We're coming close to the end of this.
My bad. You said another goal, like goals. My bad.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
All right, I said what I said about that. My bad. That's on me. The next goal I really want to get though is I want to win a regional championship.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that this year. I want to win a national championship. I'm speaking everything into existence.
Exactly.
So I'm not trying to be cocky.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking into existence. But I want to win that, and I want to leave Great Lakes and move up.
Yeah.
But I'm not leaving no time soon, because like that school done so much to me, so much for me and my family, and I'm a loyal person. And I also know I'm impacting these kids' lives at another level that I didn't think I can do. And I think God got me here for a reason.
That's exactly right. Man, I could listen to your story like over and over and over. And I wish I played basketball to be on your team. I'd be like, man, I need that every day. If you could, let me ask you that. If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Your attitude.
Yeah.
Fix my attitude. My attitude was crazy back then. It was ridiculous. I was a little wild boy.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I think I was short-tempered. I was a short-tempered person. Like you do something small, like I snap.
Yeah.
And like I just do that.
Yeah.
I had to work on that to just kind of step back and just think about, like the thing I told you about coaching. Like a coach would tell me something, I just snap. Why do you talk to me like that? Why do you do this thing like that? You know, like something like that. Anyway, the questions we got from the listeners, some of them you've actually talked about all of them through your story, because like this one was like, how was it growing up in Baltimore? One question, who helped you to become the man you are today?
Damn, that's about to make me cry. My uncle, my grandfather, those two, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them two. What I mean by that is like, I'm tearing up because I wouldn't be here, dog. Straight up, like I would be dead.
Yeah.
Or I would be locked up. And my god brother, those three, those three.
Yeah.
I was reckless. And I was young, living like I was like 21 and I was only 10 years old.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, like, he never gave up on me.
Yeah.
My uncle never gave up on me. So
that's big. And this one thing I wanted to say earlier is like, even following you on Instagram, you're big on family. I see your feed. It was one funny video I was watching.
My mom?
No. Yeah, it was your mom.
Was dancing. There was one who was dancing.
There's one who was like, this is not a smoking. Well, they were standing in a group. They say they were taking pictures.
Oh yeah, my cousin, man. Like, man, my family, man. We got. Listen, man, my family different.
Yeah.
But man, I love my family to death, man. All my family, I love them. Shout out to them. But my mom, my grandma, my grandfather, my uncle, and my god brother, like that 5 right there. That's all I need. And of course, I need my fiance. But I'm saying, like, before I met my fiance, that 5 right there, that's all I need.
No, that's dope. And family first. I have a daughter right now, and my wife and my daughter, and I love them to death, and my family, and they're big to me. So I appreciate you.
That changed your life, don't it?
It did change my life. Yeah, it did.
I never realized that, man, until you get a daughter and you look at your daughter and you be like,
yeah,
damn,
that's true.
Like she changed my life about everything. Yeah. Like how you talk to a woman, how you treat a woman.
Yeah.
Like my daughter, man, that's my road dog. That's my best friend. Like genuinely, like she been with me since she came out the womb. I'm talking about 3 weeks. She was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
She was in the gym.
Wow.
In her car seat while I'm working out.
Yeah.
And like she been in that's Great Lakes is her second home. Like she been at Great Lakes gym when she was 3 weeks and now until now. Man. And then my fiance, man, that's my rock. Like she changed my life as well. Like we've been through a lot of stuff. But for me and her to stick it out, you know, I proposed March 28th.
That's dope. That's dope.
Now we about to get married.
That's crazy, Kess, man, to hear your journey and to see all the good things that have happened to you.
Yeah, I was a freak back in the day, boy. Oh, wow. I was wild boy. Then you get your daughter.
Yeah.
And you look at it, you be like, yeah, I wish a nigga would play with my daughter. So you gotta tighten up.
Yeah.
And then you get a good woman by your side, man. You gotta keep her by your side for sure.
I really like the picture where you had her on your side, the team picture. And when you say she's part of your team and like it starts with her,
that's boss lady. You talking about my fiance?
Yeah,
that's boss lady. Yeah, she call the shots. We fuss every other couple. People look at us and be like, "Oh, I want to be like them." No, you don't. Cause my girl be getting on my nerves, bro. But that's my dog, man. But that's boss lady. You know, like she picked me up when I'm down. You know, and like I said, I don't have no family out here. Well, I have Jamal and my cousin now, but I don't have no family in Michigan. It's just her. Yeah, and those two, and she been by my side since I moved out here, and I really appreciate that to the utmost.
Shout out to you and everything you do for our guy right here, because even I'm a Great Lakes alumni, so when Great Lakes is playing, it's my school. It's always been my school. My degree says Great Lakes, so that will never change. So I'm always a crusader for life.
Representing, baby.
Exactly.
I meant to bring you a shirt, man. I got to get you to come to a game, man. We got a game Wednesday.
Yeah.
This Wednesday at 7 p.m. Our home opener.
Yeah. Anyway, I have 5 rapid answers for you to end this podcast. Just give me a one answer. What's your favorite pre-game hype song?
That's hard, man. It depends on what type of game it is.
Yeah.
Just tell me what type of game. Is it
Grace?
Grace?
Yeah.
Oh, you really want to know?
Yeah.
I can be honest.
Yeah, be honest.
These niggas can't hold me back. These niggas can't hold me back. Yeah, man, that's that Rick Ross joint, man. Yeah. I be feeling like Grace be trying to hold me back, man. Yeah. They be, I'm a young black man, handsome man, tattoos. I be looking good. I feel like Grace.
I think I remember your game with Grace.
Like, yeah, Grace don't like me, man. They don't like me. But I did that to myself, man. When I played them at the Pistons arena, I had 35 points. Oh, yeah. And remember, I kept turning around looking at the Grace bench and calling them out their names and stuff. So I did it to myself, but it's like, damn, you don't see the growth? Like, I'm not the same Elijah Kess no more, man. I'm a nice guy. Well, how you doing?
How was it like going back as a coach?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm being honest. I don't like Grace, man.
Yeah.
I respect the school because it's God's school.
Yeah.
I don't like Grace, man. We just lost him in the championship too, man, because it's Damari Reed, man. Damari Reed, man. He left he left the jerseys on the bus, man. He ain't took me at the school. He ain't tell you that?
No,
he ain't tell you that, huh?
Oh my God. Why did you do it,
Damari? Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that, Damari. We're gonna post that.
What's your biggest basketball inspiration?
What you mean?
Like, who inspires you in basketball? Like
a player or a coach?
Any. It could be any.
Give us 2. Russell Westbrook.
Give us 2 from a player and a coach.
Okay, Russell Westbrook.
Why Russell?
He's just a dog, man. Like people say what they want about him, but like the way what he brings to the game, day in and day out, the consistency, his energy, his effort, that's not a skill. That's just playing with passion.
Yeah.
That's playing with this right here.
Right.
And I love people that play with this right here and they play with passion, because I look at it as you ain't got no other choice. This all you know. And what I mean by that is when I used to play, that's why I played with so much passion, because it wasn't no other choice but basketball. Basketball saved my life. So I'm going to give this game everything I got. And I tell my team that now. My players that all the time. You play for me, you better love it. If you don't love it, I'm kicking you off. Because this game saved my life. So you're not going to half-ass this game. Not in front of me.
Yeah.
So, but Russell Westbrook, man, and from a coach standpoint, I gotta go with Calvin Sampson, man.
Yeah.
The Houston coach. I'm very connected. I'm not gonna say very connected, but I'm connected with the assistant coach down there. But I watched a lot of his podcasts, a lot of his stuff.
Is that the new? Yeah, that's the new coach again now because they had the
at Houston College.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, he been there for like 10 years now.
Okay.
But just watching his stuff, man, listening to his journey, and he's just real. And he's all about winning, but he also all about teaching the guys life skills.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Never give up.
What's the worst advice you've ever received?
Give up.
What's your favorite place in Baltimore?
The hood.
Yeah.
I love my hood, yo.
Yeah.
My neighborhood. Man, I love my hood, man. That, like I said, man, in the beginning, man, that neighborhood, man, we got so many memories, dog. Yeah, that neighborhood. I don't need to go nowhere. I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
I can stay in the hood all day.
Yeah.
If we have a reunion and nothing happened, I can stay in the hood from 9 a.m. all the way to 4 a.m.
Wow. Yeah.
With the same people. All night.
Yeah. What's a dream travel destination that you want to go to?
Damn, I just saw this on Fast and Furious. They went to, was it Tokyo?
Tokyo. I was gonna say Tokyo.
Yeah,
Tokyo.
Yo, that is pretty, bro.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
One final thing. You fought at a game, I think, when you were at Great Lakes. Did you?
I fought?
Yeah.
I ain't fight nobody, man.
When you were playing, did you fight somebody?
I ain't fight nobody, man. It was Grace, man. They jumped me, man. They jumped me, man. They got me out of there, man. No, man. All jokes aside, man. That's what I mean by like the growth.
Yeah.
Like it took me back to when I was living in Baltimore when that situation that happened. And I was not playing, I was the coach. I was the assistant coach. So one of the kids that was playing for Grace, his brother was in the stands. And his brother called Trent Temple. I don't know if you remember Trent.
I know Trent. Yep.
You know, and Trent is my daughter godfather. And his mother and his father, his whole family, Trent family is like my second family here. And the little boy called Trent mom a B. Come on, man. Trent mom like 50. No offense. You know what I mean? What we doing? You gotta have respect. So I came over there because my fiance told me, because it was already riled up. We just lost. So I go over there trying to de-escalate the situation. And Trent father come over there and he like, no, man, what's up? Like, he called my wife. You know what I mean? He on one, which as he should. And the kid talking, da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, Pop, I got it. And he like, man, you got what? And did this. Like this. And you know, I don't know if you know what this is, right?
Yeah.
Like you got a gun. And it took me back. Like trauma, sir, like trauma. It took me back to when I was in Baltimore and I was a kid. And the rule in the streets, I got to kill you before you kill me. So when he did that, I reverted back to what I used to be. And I just snapped. And I was trying to beat his ass. Excuse my language. Because it took, and this is the growth that I had to learn from. But the reality was like, this little boy, this young man, pointing a gun at me. And I shouldn't have reacted a certain way, but I did. And I hold myself accountable for that. I own up to that. It was to the point where I told President Carter Laurie, that at the time that was the president at the school, I told him, I said, if you gotta fire me, I understand. But I want you to know, I don't regret nothing. Because the reality is, everything happened for a reason. And I'm not saying I'm big and tough and all that. I just stand on what I believe.
Exactly.
And now if that situation happened now, I gotta, I do it differently now, of course.
Yeah.
But the way how it went down, I wish it didn't go that way. But sometimes it happened. And I know for a fact that, to be honest with you, that played a big part of why they didn't want to give me the head coaching job last year right away because of that incident.
Yeah.
And I went in the office of the president and the vice president and spoke my mind and told them that was 3 years ago. if God forgave me, why can't y'all? Mm-hmm. Why are we holding this against me?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they not wrong. I'm not saying they not wrong for worrying. But don't give me no type of BS of why you not really trying to give me the head coaching job at this moment. Yeah. Let's keep it real. And that's what I mean by like real and fake.
Yeah.
And when I did that, you know, the president, the vice president, you know, they my guys. I love them to death. Like they my dogs. But I felt like that was God. Like I cried when they didn't give me the job at first. Mm. But I felt like that was God. Like, man, go in there and speak your mind. Yeah. It was already handled. And I went in there and speak my mind. The next week, voila, I'm the head coach. And then now, Great Lakes love me.
Yeah.
Now they ain't trying to get rid of me.
And I think that's a part I like because you like being loyal and being real. And I think you doing that was you saying yes. And you acknowledge your fault, you acknowledge your mistake. Yes, I did, I was wrong. But there was a reason to that, why that happened. And like there's a lesson to that. Like you just said, if that happened today, you handle it different because you've been through it. And I like that. And I'm glad and happy that you're now the head coach of men's basketball. And I know you're going to do great things. I enjoyed sitting down with you, just listening to some of these stories. I didn't know much about you because when you were senior, I was still there. So I didn't really get a lot of time to talk to you. But I'm happy that you gave me this opportunity to just sit down with you.
Man, you're a real one, man. I appreciate you having me out here. Appreciate Damari. Shout out to Coach Rich, Coach Pat, Damari, Kevin, Quinn, you know, Quincy, especially my fiance, my big homies. You know what I mean? Like everyone that's tuning in, man, I appreciate it. If I want to leave something like for the youth, follow your dreams. Don't let no one tell you can't do it. Cause I've been there. Mm-hmm. I know y'all just heard the story, and I ain't even tell you that was only like 10%. Yeah. But I've been in y'all's shoes. If you've been in what I think you've been through, if someone watching this, I've been in your shoes. And I'm not saying I'm perfect now, but if you believe in God and you keep walking this earth the right way, God will reward you. Because the reality is, it's a reason why you're here, but you got to take advantage of it. And that's the main thing. I realized that God put me on this earth for a reason. At first, I didn't know. Now I see it. I'm not just impacting my kids, my players. I'm impacting everyone around me. Everyone around me is evolving. Yeah. That's why I can't have no fake person around me, because everyone around me, promise you, is evolving. Mm-hmm. If you're around me right now, I guarantee you are involved. You evolving. Yeah.
No, that's deep. Yes, once again, I appreciate you, my brother.
Man, my boy.
Thank you very much.
I gotta get you a shirt, man.
Yeah. Hey there, my name is Bonnie Chibuka, the podcast host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a feedback on this podcast because that's how we grow. Thank you very much and be blessed.
What's happening, man? Coach Elijah Kess, man, from Great Lakes Christian College, man. I'm here with your boy Bonnie, man, on this podcast. We talking about my life journey, what I've been through growing up in Baltimore. We talking about my basketball career. And we also talking about my second year being the head coach, of how successful I will be in the future. You heard me. Tap into it. You dig?